Habeen wanaagsan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good evening, everyone. You guys are a quiet crowd. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
We are at a rally. Good evening, everyone. That is still not good enough. Good evening, everyone. All right. So I'm Ilhan Omar. I'm a state representative in Minnesota. I'm not only the first Somali woman to hold office, but I am also the first Somali person to be a state legislator in this country. I make that distinction because in our conscience, it's always comfortable to think women only become a first as a woman. Oftentimes, we imagine that there must have been a man elected into that position before them. So I like to remind people that there was no man that came before me. I am the first. So it is my pleasure to be here with you all. It is my first visit to your great Commonwealth. I have long wanted to come visit Boston and the state of Massachusetts. It never worked out. I think everyone in my family has visited here because we have family members that live in this state and in this great city. So I am glad that the first time I make my way here is for a great cause. It is a privilege and an opportunity for me to be here, not only to support someone I think and know deserves to be your next city council member, but to also be here with you to talk about unity and to have a conversation about the direction that we need to be headed as one community under this great country of the United States. Since last Saturday and even today here in your city, we have seen fascist hate groups rally in the streets of the United States, spewing speech that is about hate, that is bigoted, that is divisive, that is everything but American. But what we have also seen, is the rise of so many community members who are carrying a message of peace, a message of love, a message of unity. Who are interested in building together, who are interested in being a bridge builder, people who have been very brave, courageous, in uplifting us and making sure that we are staying true to the ideals of what this country stands for. You can answer it. We'll wait. So I am excited that there are so many people who are rising up to the occasion to staying focused on creating that perfect union, on creating a community that is built by us and for us. So some of you might also be wondering, why would a state representative from Minnesota fly all the way here to Boston, Massachusetts, and rally for a candidate running for city council? What could we possibly have in common? Everything. Actually, there are a few things Becca and I have in common. So it turns out we both came to this country at the age of 12. Did you know this? Turns out that we are both mothers of teenagers and young children also. Turns out that we are both community organizers. But more importantly, the reason that I have decided to come here, the one thing that we have in common above everything else, is that we understand that we have a responsibility to create a community that is better than the one we found. We have a responsibility to improve the environments that we live in so that our children and their children don't have to go through the hardships we went through. We understand that when something is given to you, that you also pay it forward. We understand that we are the lucky ones, and that the opportunity that is provided to us because of the luck that we had, we also must use that opportunity to provide and create luck for others. So many people, when I ran, said to me, "This isn't possible for you, Ilhan. It's kind of cute that you think you can win. If you get 10% of the votes, you should be really proud of yourself." It was a three-way race. I ran against a 44-year incumbent. And I also had the misfortune, Becca is luckier than I am, of running against a male Somali candidate. So I really had no chance of winning. But I believe the same way she believes, that once we start having conversations with people, once people get the opportunity to understand what we can provide beyond our identity, our gender, our religion, then people buy in to the policies and the dreams and the possibilities we carry with us. And in my race, people bought into that. And I know I was able to make it because so many people stood by me and uplifted me. We had elderly women in the community of every race. My campaign mother was a white woman who was the mother of my campaign chair. She opened her home, would allow us to run phone banks out of her house. Every other Saturday, invited community members to come and just meet this candidate who had no chance. And every other weekend, she would bake us cookies and create opportunities for our campaign to feel like we were building momentum for one another. And then there are my Edos, the Somali elderly women, who believed that regardless of whether I won or not, that my spirit should never be shattered. There's one particular woman who called me into her house one night, and she had saved up $1,000, and she put it in an envelope. And she said, I want it to max out, and I've been thinking about it for the last 6 months, and I've been saving, and so here is $1,000. What does it get for you? And I said, the world, because my spirit is so uplifted at the moment. And then there are the people who provided prayers and smiles and shoulders for me to cry on, the hugs that came in the days when it was really tough to continue. It takes a village. You know, there's that saying, to raise a child, it takes a village. To make a candidate to successfully win, it takes a village. So I'm going to make a few asks of you tonight. I'm going to ask you, one, to be DECA's village. To provide those hugs, to provide that resource that she needs, to provide the bodies when it's time to hit the doors, to provide the smiles on the days where she needs that extra push to continue. I know that there might be few of you in this room who still haven't bought into the idea that this is possible, that this win, her victory, is possible. You know, I'm gonna say something that's probably going to be surprising to you. It doesn't matter whether she wins or not. What matters is whether you have done everything you can to make sure she has the chance to win. So on election night, it is not going to be only on the shoulders of DECA, whether you have a new representation. It is going to be on the shoulders of every single one of you. So, DECA earlier in the video said, is Boston ready for a Somali Muslim city council member? I ask you, is Boston ready for a Somali Muslim city council member? But even more than that, is Boston ready to elect someone who is committed to community? Is Boston ready for a true bridge builder? Is Boston ready for a visionary who is brave and courageous and is going to lead the city with some radical love for her community? Is Boston ready to elect a social justice warrior who is going to fight for you? Is Boston ready to elect someone who is not going to be a voice for you, but a voice with you? That's the spirit. So help me welcome the next city council member, Deco Jibril.